Hello, hello.
Hi.
We're back and better than ever. How are you?
I'm a little nauseous, to be honest.
Fair.
Exactly.
We have been, we've been doing some chatting about today's topic, which
And
obviously we'll get into.
Unfortunately, finding pictures that should not be on the internet.
You know, I'm actually really good at finding photos that I should not find. And it's kind of unsettling how many awful things I've stumbled upon.
Yeah.
Stumbled upon some dead bodies.
Yeah.
So, you know, I feel like we haven't recorded in forever.
It's been a while.
It has been.
Yeah.
You guys won't know because we've been releasing a backlog of episodes, so it feels normal for you.
The last time we recorded one was in Vegas.
It's true. Oh.
Yeah.
I miss Vegas.
Me too.
Shout out to Vegas.
Yeah. Shout out to the Blue Man Group.
Shout out to the Blue Man Group. And Matthew Gray Goobler.
Gooby.
Gooby.
Call
we'll
us.
See you next time. We'll see you, baby.
I'm Kate,
And I'm Jane, and this is Creeps and Coffee.
a show where we talk about the dark parts of the world around us
Cryptids, conspiracies, things that go bump in the night.
and the crimes behind the scariest creatures of all, humans.
Join us as we take a look at the stories sure to give you the creeps.
Pull up a seat, grab a coffee.
And let's have a chat.
On a more serious
So-
note, murder.
Yeah. Speaking of Matthew Gray Goobler. For those of you who don't know, he plays Spencer Reed in Criminal Minds. So, I've still got Jamie on her Criminal Minds kick.
Yep.
Thank God. But yeah, on a serious note, today's episode is intense.
Yeah.
It feels like it's been a long time since we've covered a true crime case.
Yeah, trigger warning.
Yeah, so there's a bit of a content warning happening. Obviously, discussion of murder and death in general is not something most people enjoy.
Yeah. And if you read the title, also cannibalism.
Yeah, there's a little bit of cannibalism that we're going to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
There's some pretty disturbing... Obviously, I feel like it's kind of annoying to hear this again, but we say it in every true crime episode that we do. We're not here to go over the gory details of things. We'll talk about it a little bit, but we're not going to go in depth because that's not what this show is.
Mm-hmm.
We're not here to glorify what's happened. We're here to discuss the psychology behind it and the impact of it on society and, in this case, pop culture to a certain extent. We're not here to disrespect the victim. We're not here to disrespect the family of the victim. We're here to talk about why criminal cases like this affect people like us. But yeah, we want to acknowledge before we even get into any of this that the victim in this case was not just a person not just a character whose story we get to talk about. She was a real person with real friends and family and people who loved and cared about her. And what happened was horrendous. Obviously, we'll get into the repercussions of it and that sort of thing, but we want to, before anything else, acknowledge how awful this was and send our love and condolences to the people that loved her.
Mm-hmm.
It's so tricky to talk about stuff like this because you don't want to say, I like it, I'm excited about it, because that's fucked up.
You found this case.
But I found this particularly intriguing.
Yeah.
Because of the psychological aspects behind it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say is I don't think we've ever covered the psyche behind cannibalism on this podcast. And it is a lot.
Buckle up, folks.
Yeah. And he was also very open with it. So we have a lot of content to work with.
That's part of the intrigue. It's just the blatant narcissism. But, you know, we'll get into that. We're not going to jump right into deep psychoanalysis, I promise. As good as I am at doing that, we won't.
Mm-hmm.
So, as we jump into this, if you haven't figured out by now, if you haven't read the title of the episode, thanks for listening blindly, I guess, but also maybe read it.
Hi, Mom.
Just yeah. Hi, Tammy. Just to prepare yourself a little bit, we are going to be talking about a man named Issei Sagawa and his fuckiness.
Yeah.
During my master's degree, that's the best word that I could come up with, is
Mhm.
fuckiness. Okay. That's how today's gonna go.
A.k.a. the Kobe Cannibal.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I was gonna say my earlobe fell out. No. My earbud. So, James, would you like to start us off with a little bit of background, introduction?
Painting the picture.
Paint us a beautiful picture, my sweet... what do you call a good painter?
Artist?
Like a natural artist. What do you call it? Don't look at me right now. It'll come to me. Fuck it.
Okay.
I was gonna say maestro. That's the only word that was coming to my brain.
I'll take it.
That's not
I
that.
guess.
No, that's music. Ugh. Whatever. It literally doesn't matter.
Okay, I'm Bob Ross. I got this.
There we go.
So, painting picture. Everybody close your eyes unless you're driving. You are in a place in Japan called Kobe. Not the basketball player. Not the type of beef. And that is where Issei Sagawa was born on April 26th, 1949. This dude, for as long as he could remember, always kind of fancied cannibalism. Even from his young age, he apparently would reach for different fairy tales that depicted humans being eaten, like Hansel and Gretel. He recalls noticing classmates in young grades and wanting to do inappropriate things, not even in the sexual way. As Caitlin said before, like, not a sexual sadist, but like, actually, nom nom, that looks yummy, I want to eat it.
It became a sexual thing later, but we'll get into that. But
yeah, he said that he's also done a lot of interviews. That's how we've found all of this information. He said that he can't really explain or conceptualize it to people who aren't cannibals. So, like, most people. So, he's misunderstood.
aren't they all?
But he says he blamed the media's representation of Western women for helping spark this cannibalistic fantasy. So, yeah, instead of dreaming of sleeping with women, he dreamt of eating them. And
look,
yeah,
I'm gonna butt in here and say, as I've said, because somehow every episode talks about sex.
Yeah.
I promise that's not totally on purpose, but I just needed to address it. This is not a kink-shaming thing. This is a crime.
Yeah.
Like, I think there was a big debate. There was a case, I want to say in Germany. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about it because I don't.
Are you talking about the one where the
recall
guy
a lot
cut
of-
off the penis
Yes.
while he was alive?
Yes.
Yep.
Because it was a consensual sexual thing. So for
Yeah.
those of you who don't know what we're talking about, this man put out an ad because he had cannibalistic urges that were sexual by nature. And he put out an ad asking for people who wanted to be eaten. And a man responded, gave full consent about wanting to be eaten. They cut off his penis fried it. They tried to eat it together. Like, this, I mean, that one is a moral dilemma. And that was a big conversation in philosophy and sociology groups. It's a big gray area.
Is that why I heard about it from psych class?
Yeah.
Oh.
For sure.
It's better than just having that knowledge. I don't know where it came from.
My homeroom teacher in high school told me about it. Shout out to Chris Evans. Yeah.
But
That's
not
his
that
name.
Chris Evans.
Not that Chris Evans or my cousin, who also goes by the same name.
Oh my god, okay.
There's a lot. Anyway. But all that to say, it's a moral gray area. They were both consenting adults. It's a different situation. This is not consensual in any sense.
Mm-mm.
He was overtly making these advances and weird comments and being creepy and gross to people who were not consenting. Not all of it was sexual in nature, but a lot of it was. Anytime Issei was interacting or having these thoughts, it was equally from a place of anger and sexual desire, which is often what creates a sadistic person, which is how we've gotten to this point. That was just me popping in. Because we're not kink shaming, but also don't eat people.
Yeah, but this man, he tried to defend himself and say he never actually thinks about killing them. That's not the part he fantasizes about. It's just the chewing on their flesh and eating them.
The eating. Yeah.
And he tried to explain it like it's like a fetish. A man is attracted to a woman. He feels a desire to see her, kiss her, blah, blah, blah. He says that's exactly how he feels, but with eating said women, blah, blah, blah. And he finds it weird that other people don't feel this urge.
Yeah.
And that makes me unsettled.
It's, to use a modern term, it's very much main character syndrome. And him thinking that his way is the highway and that everyone has to cater to his needs.
Egocentric.
Very egocentric. So the fact that he doesn't... It's not that he doesn't want to see that his desires could potentially be out of the norm. It's that he refuses to accept that it could be abnormal. And it's everyone else's problem that it's not a normal urge. That's what's unsettling about this, is that he has really gotten to the point, or had really gotten to the point of sociopathy, essentially, that he was incapable of understanding how his actions could negatively influence someone else, nor did he give a fuck that they did.
Yeah.
Which ultimately landed him in the position he was in, and doing the things that he did.
Yeah. He did, however, attempt one singular time to see a psychiatrist at the age of 15 about combating these urges. You look like you want to say something.
Look, we all tried therapists at 15. It doesn't always work. Attempting once at 15 when you're already angsty and weird.
Yeah.
Clearly he needed more.
Yeah. So, shocker. It didn't help. And it actually made him feel more isolated, obviously. This part made me kind of laugh. He's described as super short, under 5 feet tall, and super skinny, and I quote, too repulsive to attract any kind of physical intimacy that would have tempered his desires.
I would like to correct what you just said. All of those descriptions about him are accurate. He was not described by other people as that. That is a self-description. That is how he described himself.
And I concur.
Out there. Yeah.
Have you seen it?
That is the one thing And I'm like, yeah, you got it. You're spot on there, bud.
Yeah.
But this is also an indicator, and then here I go on my fucking soapbox again. This is also an indicator of clearly inner turmoil and clearly some fucked up psyche. That he is at the point where him saying this stuff about himself is not detrimental to him. He's not saying it to be, he doesn't have a degradation kink. He's not saying it to, like, gain sympathy. He's saying it because he genuinely believes those things, understands that this is how he's perceived, and has absolutely no problem with it. It's just like, these are the facts. I'm a repulsive, short, ugly man, and I want to eat people, and I should have the right to do it. And is unwilling to budge on that perspective. Which is nuts to me. But then again, a lot of thoughts that men have are nuts to me. So.
After finally 32 years, he did decide to give in to these urges.
And this was the point where, sorry to interrupt, I saw that your mouth was open and I was like, whatever.
It's fine. It's not like I was talking about anything.
Made me think of that audio clip of the two guys that have the podcast where one of them starts to talk.
You go.
And like, yeah. No, you go.
Your turn.
Yeah.
I love that podcast. It's a basement yard podcast.
Yes. Yeah, if you guys ever want insight into an unedited...
We are literally like that.
Yeah, an unedited episode of Creeps and Coffee is just us going, no, you go. No, it's fine.
I just say,
no,
your turn.
Yeah. I don't even remember what I was going to say now.
Good. Can I continue?
Please do.
Go ahead. Cut me off again when you remember.
Yeah, I will.
So, he was in France. And...
She's just waiting for me to cut her off.
I am. I'm sweating. I'm gearing up for it.
So, he was very, as weird as it is, he was very artsy. And he was very interested in manga and poetry and drawing and
Is he in art
all
school?
Of these things. Yes. So, he moved to France when he was 27. So, this would have been 1977. Actually, before we talk about this in general, so he was 27 when he moved to France, but when he was 24, he went to university in Tokyo, still in Japan.
That's where Tokyo is.
Ended up...
Sorry.
She just used one of my tactics on me, and I hated it. So we were just... I know what I was going to cut you off for now.
Okay.
So we were talking about how he finally decided that he was going to act on his desires. So when he was 24 in Tokyo, which is where Japan is where Tokyo is. Fuckhead. He ended up following an exchange student home, broke into her apartment, and said that he had full intention to cannibalize her. His plan was, and he actually ended up making a manga about this experience. He attempted to cut off, or he was planning to attempt to cut off a piece of her butt, her butt cheek. No.
Okay.
So, planned on cutting off a piece of her butt, running away with it, and eating it when he got home, essentially. But she woke up and attacked him, pushed him to the ground, clearly overpowered him.
Good for her.
He was captured and charged with attempted rape because they assumed that, I guess a trigger warning there, they assumed that if he was going to break into this woman's apartment, that was his intention, which is fair because my first thought would not be, this man wants to cut off a piece of my butt cheek and eat it.
Nope.
It would be, I'm about to be assaulted. But his father ended up paying a settlement to this German woman, and he was never charged. The rape charges were dropped. So nothing ever came from that. So then we go to when he was 27. So 3 years later, 1977, he moved to France to do his PhD in literature. So for this, he went to the Sorbonne, which is in Paris. It's a fantastic school. Incredible programs. Very jealous that a fuckhead like this can get in. But yeah, that's how he ended up in Paris. So he was kind of trying to get away from Japan because of his desires becoming almost unbearable at this point. He felt like he had to act on them. And then he wanted to go study literature.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Totally normal juxtaposition there.
Yeah. And while he's there, he became obsessed with his ritual. He was really trying to get rid of these urges. Every night, he would bring home a prostitute and try to shoot them and kill them. And he always backed out, or it didn't work out, luckily for them, until, unfortunately, there was one girl who didn't quite make it. Did you want to
not quite
discuss her?
a little bit, yeah. So as we start to talk about this woman who did not make it through her interactions with Issei Sagawa, I think it's important to point out that the authorities are very secretive about this case, and I think that's based on her family's request. There is not publicly available information about Renee's family, about any of their names, any of their connection to her at the time of her death. We don't know, the number of her siblings. What we do know is obviously her family was heartbroken. They pledged to push for Issei to be tried as much as possible in the court system.
Yeah.
They did not want this murderer to ever see the light of day. But we'll talk about how that went. But I just wanted to acknowledge that the reason that we're not kind of going into more detail about Renee is because her family has requested that be the case. So it's important to, while acknowledging that she is a person, you don't need to have all of her information out there to be able to say, hey,
She didn't deserve this.
So what we do know about Renee, she was a 25-year-old woman from the Netherlands. She was invited to have dinner at Issei Sagawa's apartment under the pretext of a school assignment. So he invited her over, hoping for help translating poetry for an assignment at the Sorbonne. And obviously, that was a ruse.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it was unfortunately just a ruse to get her back into his place, and he actually tried to kill her, once, and failed. Apparently there was a malfunction in the gun when she wasn't looking, her back was turned. So he tried to do it again the next night. I'm assuming he did the same ruse, come back over, let's finish the assignment. But unfortunately for her, the gun did fire, and he did kill her. He said he felt remorse momentarily, and then was overpowered with his excitement, which I hate. He then sexually assaulted her body, and then started doing the cannibal stuff that I don't want to get into. And I'm like saying this with my teeth like clenched.
Yeah. I'm like, my whole body's tense.
He said his only regret was that he hadn't eaten her while she was still alive. But he still claims that he never wanted to actually kill her, just eat her. Okay, brother, shut up.
That is actually not better.
Yeah.
Shockingly enough.
Doesn't make it better.
I think it should also be pointed out that he complained that his teeth weren't sharp enough to eat her.
Boo-hoo. It's almost like that's not meant to be eaten by humans.
Yeah, it's crazy how human flesh should not be consumed. But that caused him to go and purchase a butcher knife. And do things that way.
Yeah. So 2 days after killing Renee, he had eaten and frozen multiple body parts, but decided to dispose of the rest of her body. This, I want to say a lot of swear words right now. This dude decided the best way to do so was to use 2 suitcases and then call a cab, have the cab drop him off in a park. I don't know how to say the name of this park. Bois de Boulogne. Bologna.
Boulogne.
Bois de Boulogne Park.
Close enough. At least you got the bois part.
Bois,
That was the most Acadian.
bois.
That's the most Acadian I've ever sounded. Bois.
But yeah, apparently his big brilliant plan was to just drop the suitcases in the lake that was in the park. But shocker, it's a public park. Multiple people noticed, hey, that guy has suitcases with blood dripping out of it, and called the police. Obviously. This would be the fastest episode of Criminal Minds ever. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. What's astounding to me about it, and it, to a certain extent, it's not surprising because he's obviously a sociopath, and it means nothing to him. The human life aspect is irrelevant because he's getting what he wants. Regardless of the sexual desires behind it, it's power. But what's baffling to me is that he goes to all of this trouble and just destroys this woman and her family's life for the rest of existence. Like, the rest of their family lineage is going to have this in their memory. But the only reason that he decided that he needed to get rid of her wasn't because he felt guilty, wasn't because he was scared of getting caught. It was because her body started to decompose and he was grossed out.
Yeah.
So
Like,
this man
that's
had
the
such
true mark.
little...
He did not care.
There was such little respect. He did not consider anything. Obviously, we know he didn't consider anyone else's feelings, but he didn't consider human life to be of value.
Yeah.
So he could get his dick hard.
Once.
At the end of the day. Yeah, literally once.
Good for you.
It's just... There's a lot of things that surprise me about humanity, and there's obviously a lot of things that don't surprise me. This is something that will always be shocking.
Yeah. Well,
Always.
because we have empathy. So the police found Sagawa and were like, hello? And what's going on? And he
was caught. He was caught in the act.
He immediately was like, oh yeah, I killed her. I ate her. Literally, point blank.
This is further baffling to me, and it further proves this man is a psychopath. That he was like, oh yeah, it's no big deal. I had a desire to eat her, so I ate her. And now I don't need this anymore.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Ugh.
So obviously,
Imagine
go.
being sorry.
You go.
No, your turn. I'm done.
I'll wait.
Yeah. Imagine being the police officer that was like, sir, what's in your suitcase?
Dead body.
Dead body, I ate it. Okay.
I'm gonna need you to step to the side, sir.
I'm gonna call for backup, I think.
Like, you at least expect to put up a fight, but...
Something.
No.
Any normal person would.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, for a multitude of reasons, we know that this man is not considered normal.
Mm-hmm. So, obviously, he got arrested, and awaited a trial for 2 years in a French prison. A French judge, Jean-Louis Bruguière,
Nailed it.
declared him legally insane, good, and unfit to stand trial because he was legally insane and unfit to stand trial. So that also meant they dropped the charges and ordered him to be held in a mental institution indefinitely. Here's where things go bad. Go worse.
Yeah.
Here's
Here's where the problems start.
They deported him back to Japan,
Mm-hmm.
so that he could spend the rest of his life in a Japanese mental hospital. However, that's not what happened.
No.
Because the charges in France had been dropped, the court documents became sealed and couldn't be released to Japanese authorities. Therefore, in Japan, they had no case against him to keep him
legally
locked in an institution. So he was allowed to leave of his own free will, and obviously he did. He checked himself
legally,
out August 12th.
Could not be detained.
Yeah.
Based on Japanese law.
He was checked out in 1986 of the Matsuzawa Psychiatric Hospital in Tokyo. And he lived the rest of his life a free man.
And here...
The murderous cannibal.
This is what pisses me off about this. Yes, it's an oversight that there is not more...
But, like, that's an awful government loophole to have.
But that's what I was going to say. It's a terrible oversight that there's not more consistency among governments. Like, obviously, don't trust the government, it's terrible, whatever.
Anarchy.
But there should be some consistency in terms of prison sentences. There should be some consistency in terms of international law.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, culture's going to come into play to a certain extent. But when you have cases like this, there has to be some normalcy.
Yeah.
A man like this should not be able to walk free.
No.
But the problem does not lie in the fact that he was able to walk free. The problem lies in the fact that he did not just walk free. He became a celebrity.
Yeah, he profited off of this for the rest of his life.
Until the day he died,
Mm-hmm.
in November of 2022, this
Good
man
riddance.
profited wholeheartedly off of the crime that he committed and never once apologized.
And also, imagine being Renee's family.
Exactly.
He didn't
It's a
even
constant-
get punished. He's making a profit off of your daughter, your sister, your cousin's murder.
And let's put this into context here, because when we are talking, like, the reason this is as annoying and as anger-inducing as it is because when we talk about profit, it isn't like, oh, he got invited to do an interview. Oh, 60 Minutes wanted to interview a psychopath. Sure, stuff like that happened. There's many, many interviews with him. This man, I told you, he had an interest in manga and art and literature. He released his own... Are they comics? Manga comics?
Manga, yeah.
Like, his own books, essentially, of his own illustration of his own crimes and desires. He went on to have his own shows and his own, like, tell-all novels and his own porn career.
Yeah. Did you mention that it was over 20 published books?
I did not.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
he
not-
published over
again,
20
yeah.
books. And they...
Not one or two.
Yeah. And they were messed up. Like, one of the titles was called Extremely Intimate Fantasies of Beautiful Girls, filled with pictures drawn of himself. Like, that's just... not needed, and it's
not needed in general, but it's certainly not needed from a man who committed an atrocity like this, and who has blatantly proven that this is something that he has done and will do again if given the opportunity, or would have done again if given the opportunity.
Yeah.
The thing that baffles me about this, and this is actually what got me interested in this case, that's a weird segue for me to have. So essentially, he did a porno.
Yeah, the
where
softcore porn?
Yes. So he had sex with this woman consensually, but they didn't tell her who he was or what he'd done until after they had made the porn.
Imagine how violated.
And then they made her do it again after.
Why?
It's disgusting. Like, that makes me feel sick to my stomach.
I don't have anything smart to say to that.
No. But that was not the only porn that he ever did. He was a well-known Japanese porn star for biting people in the pornos. It's fucked.
Yeah,
anyway.
Lots of talk shows.
Just a publicity stunt.
And I don't know if you mentioned this, he also did a public review for restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, I don't want to know that the cannibal thinks this restaurant is good. No, thank you. Also,
somehow, I don't feel that would be a positive endorsement.
Nope. Featured in magazines. He also had a lecture circuit where he talks about his crime and different urges. Girl.
Like, from a psychological perspective, it is interesting to hear and to have as much interview footage as we do.
Tell me from a jail cell.
But that's took the words right out of my fucking mouth. Jamie, you're my best friend in the world. Like, those interviews can happen from a punitive perspective. Mm-hmm. It does not have to be a free man telling you the story of how fucked up they are. It can be a person behind bars.
If I walked into that lecture not knowing, I'm going to feel so uncomfortable being like, oh, this man ate and killed somebody. I don't want to sit here. I'm in the front row.
As a professor, how could you feel comfortable
having your students
welcoming a person like this to your students?
Yeah. He claims he has refrained from cannibalism ever since the incident. I don't believe that.
Bullshit.
I believe that he might have done it since then because the urges are so strong and just never got caught. And obviously he's not going to tell people, oh yeah, I did it a couple more times after I got in trouble. Because then, you will go to an institution. But he's literally gone gloating, not gloating, but like going around saying, like, oh, June is really hard because all the women start wearing less, and like, I just really want to like bite them. Like, brother, you telling me he hasn't committed another crime since then? Even then, I can guarantee he's committed a crime. Maybe even not just cannibalism, probably assault, probably stalking women from the train station.
This man makes me feel itchy.
Yeah.
The problem with this, for me, among many other problems I have with this, is, yes, he was 1,000% stalking women, being creepy, making unwanted advances, doing all of the things, never getting caught for it. He absolutely was. There's not a doubt in my mind. Sure, I don't have concrete proof of it, but sue me. Oh, he can't. He's fucking dead.
We'll get to that.
But, yeah. But the fact that he still to this day has a fan base of people who love his books and his stories and think he's so sexy and so mysterious
and they know
cool.
about the crimes.
And it's no different to me than the psyche of a woman who is obsessed with Manson, who is obsessed with Richard Ramirez, who is obsessed with any of these fucking serial killers. Get a grip.
Like, it is not the romanticized version with Evan Peters in it. It is someone who actually murders, and you are not special. You will not change them. They would kill you in an instant if they had the chance. And that's a hard thing for me to hear, too, because I love American Horror Story. Ever since season 1 with Tate Langdon, I could change him. Realistically, I could not.
Yeah.
He would kill me.
Look at American Horror Story is a prime example. I'll take a shot every time we talk about American Horror Story. Another prime example for me, I've been in love with Zac Efron since I was like 7 years old.
Mm-hmm.
High School Musical changed my life,
Mm-hmm.
and I will forever be in love with that man. When his Ted Bundy movie came out, it's difficult to see something like that in pop culture, have the background information of Zac Efron and knowing that I love Zac Efron and all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's difficult to separate that from what Ted Bundy was. And I'm not hesitating to not say who Ted Bundy was. I'm saying what, because he was a monster. There should be no glorification with someone like Zac Efron, because it perpetuates stuff like this. It was the same thing with Evan Peters. It's the same thing with fucking Zodiac stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this perpetual perspective of them as these, like, suave individuals. Like, that is doing nothing to help the circumstances of cults of fandoms.
Well, that's
like
just
Issei
Hollywood
Sagawa
trying to
has.
make a buck, because they know if they
But
get
exactly.
a hot guy to do it, or a well-known face, like, who was it, like, Ross Lynch was also Dahmer
Yep.
before,
Yep.
and everyone knew, oh, like, yeah, people will watch it. He used to be on Disney, and now he's a serial killer in a show.
But the more you encourage stuff like that,
Yeah.
the easier it is when you have a situation like Issei Sagawa, where he's not attractive.
Yeah.
He's not charismatic. He is self-described
And
as
has there
ugly.
been a Netflix movie about him? Like, him
He
being
just
hot
died,
and
so
sexual?
buckle up.
God.
But this is what I mean. When you have people like that, it's easier for those who are not those traits
Mm-hmm.
to get fame and fortune and a fan base, because people are like, well, these traits are now the attractive thing.
Remember this
Because
in 6
these-
years when Netflix releases a topic, and we're like, I told you
If
so.
I don't get residuals, if that SAG-AFTRA strike doesn't come for us right now, I'll fight somebody.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? The easier Hollywood makes it to attach those traits to someone attractive, when you are removing the attractiveness of that individual, and those traits are what's left behind, society picks up on that being attractive. No matter how fucked up it is, it's, ooh, I can change him. Ooh, he's like controlling but in a sexy way. No.
Yeah.
These are dangerous people, and the fact that there is anyone defending this man, anyone saying that they're a fan of his work, of anything he's done, anything he's said, I don't say this lightly, get some fucking help.
Well, because he literally said he'd do it again. Multiple times. He had no
It doesn't-
remorse, and that's the part that messes me up.
It doesn't matter if he'd do it again or not, he did it once.
And that's enough.
He did it. If he had so much as thought about doing that, I've never once been like, yeah, I'd eat a person. And I can't reiterate enough that it's disgusting to me that he was not only given a platform, but respected and revered after doing some of the most disgusting things. Jamie and I mentioned at the top of the show that we'd stumbled upon some photos that we weren't expecting to see.
Yeah.
So he had taken photos during his process. We found those. We found crime scene photos. Things that are genuinely very disturbing. I feel like when
I know
we started...
people are curious, but I don't recommend
No.
looking these up. Like, I'm going to have nightmares tonight, and I felt physically ill.
Like, I genuinely feel like when we started this episode, we were... I mean, Jamie and I haven't talked in a couple days. We were kind of lighthearted about things, and we were kind of going into it, not jokingly. Obviously, we still wanted to be respectful and have a serious conversation, but it was not as baffling to us as it was once we saw the photographs and had that in front of us.
Well, and it was so unexpected, because we were talking about what respectful post can we do on Instagram. Like, maybe we can find some paperwork to post, because we did not want to glorify the victim. We did not
pictures
want
of Sorbonne, pictures of Japan.
So we were like, well, let's try and find something that will be respectable, and instead we came across, like, crime scene photos that are burned into my eyeballs right now.
Yeah.
And I probably won't ever forget that.
Like, very, very rarely do we have visceral reactions to things.
And we both did.
I can genuinely say that we did, and it's, like, I feel anger right now. I can't direct that anger at anybody because, like we'll talk about in a minute, Sagawa's dead. But fuck me. Like, it's baffling.
Like, I feel like I'm on the verge of tears right now because seeing what had been done to Renee's body, if that was me, obviously I'd be dead, but if I knew what had happened to me, the rage in my heart, like, how dare you do that to me when I cannot fight back? Like,
it's a blatant disrespect.
Ooh.
Not just to the individual, and this is the what gets me about it, is it's not a disrespect. I mean, it is a disrespect to the person, but it's not at its core a disrespect to the individual. It's a disrespect to human existence.
Yeah.
And a disrespect to familial connections between humans. Like, understanding a companionship between our species. There was none of that. There was no acknowledgement that there was a soul beyond the body, nor that soul mattered.
Yeah.
But at this point, he can get fucked.
Well, and at the same time, he also is literally quoted to say, "I hope people will read my book and stop thinking of me as a monster." Brother, you are a monster. What do you mean?
You are a monster, and that soul did matter.
Yeah.
And she still does. So
he got what he deserved in the end. He's dead now.
At the end, in November of 2022, he died of pneumonia.
After suffering from diabetes and also 2 heart attacks.
Yes. Unfortunately, it was not in a prison cell. It was at home. At 73 years old. 73 years too many of this man's existence in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It was a soul that the world would have been better off without. And I don't hesitate to say that. At the end of the day, yeah, he was a person too. But when you do stuff like this, your personhood gets taken from you.
Can I leave us with one more kind of bone-chilling addition to that?
Please do, because I'm done.
Yeah. So in 2018, he was quoted during filming where his brother asks him, "As your brother, would you eat me?" And the only response Sagawa gave was an empty stare and silence.
Well, I'd say that about sums up our conversation for today.
Yeah.
Sorry it was a bit of a heavier one. We haven't had a super heavy one in a while, but like I said, we were kind of caught off guard by the heaviness of it as well. So I guess we'll do a wrap up. If you would like to share your thoughts, your opinions, comments, questions, concerns about anything you've heard in our episode today, you can feel free to reach out to us at our email, which is creepsandcoffee@gmail.com. You can give us a follow and send us a message on our Instagram and our Twitter, which are at creepsandcoffee. If you would like to help us along on our journey and see our updates, new shows, new posts, whatever the case may be, or if you would like to help support the show and help fuel our caffeine-induced recording sessions, you can check out our Buy Me a Coffee page, which is buymeacoffee.com/creepsandcoffee.
And if you feel cannibalistic urges, go to a psychiatrist.
Actually, all of you should go to therapy anyway. It's fantastic.
That is also true.
But definitely mention cannibalism if that's a thing for you.
And if you get rejected the first time, do not wait 32 years before acting on it. Go to a different therapist.
Please.
Get some help.
We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Creeps and Coffee is produced and edited by us, Kate and Jane.
Our theme music is Stuck in a Hole by Dated.
For more information on where to find them, check out the link in our show notes. And to connect with us, follow us on Instagram and Twitter @Creeps and Coffee.